Let's take a look at the schools headed to Seminole. How about San Diego State, the 3 seed? They're going to make that long journey from west to east.
You know, I was caddying and parking cars, and when Tim Mickelson went to take the head job at USD, I got a call and said, would you be interested in coaching? And it was kind of my calling, so it's been a blessing ever since.
What was it like to coach guys like Scott Piercy and JJ Spawn and Xander Schauffele?
Piercy and I played together, so we were roommates, but coaching JJ and Xander, it was special. Just very good, talented players that got better here. That's what guys do here, and had a great schedule put together, and fun to be around, still communicate with them as of today.
Yeah, you just touched on that. What's your relationship like with them and them with the program, if at all?
Yeah, Xander's, he'll come play with the guys. We'll see him practicing when he's here in San Diego. I talked to him at Augusta a couple weeks ago, so that was cool. So he's just a normal guy and follows the Aztecs pretty closely and is proud of what they've done.
You guys are obviously going to Florida now. How do you prepare your team and how do you choose your starters for competition around the country?
Yeah, we have a lot of depth this year, but I think I'll stick with the same 6. We had an injury that final round. Ncaa had a back spasm, so we put in Dylan 30 minutes before we teed off the final round at conference, but he stepped up and shot 1 under, so I think we have the right depth and the right chemistry with those 6.
And what does it mean to you to have so much success as a San Diego State coach in the Mountain West, which isn't necessarily a dominant golf conference, but you're going up against the dogs of college golf? What does that mean to you as head coach?
You know, our goal is to put together a great schedule all year, so we've seen all these teams throughout the year, so we're really not intimidated by anybody. We have a great group of guys ourselves, and I just sit back and try to get good players here and support them as much as I can.
What's been your favorite part of being a head coach at San Diego State?
You know, I think life after golf, the guys are successful with their families, with their careers and what they're doing, having kids and going to weddings and things of that nature. Is good to see them, progress throughout their life.
I know it's hard to compare to someone like Xander Schauffele or JJ Spawn, but where does Justin kind of fit now in the annals of San Diego State golf, just based on what he's done already?
Yeah, I mean, he's right up there. His mind is so strong, and golf is such a mental game, and he's really worked on that over the years. Coming in as a freshman, I mean, he'll be the first to tell you, but he was pretty average. So to see him progress and get better is definitely cool to see, and he's just a good guy, good leader. All the guys follow him, and workouts, things outside of golf, and so he's just really fun to be around, and big Oilers fan, so he's excited they won last night.
What was your reaction to the seeding? Obviously, third is solid, but sending you all the way across the country to different, kinds of turf and everything, it's not maybe ideal. What was your reaction?
Yeah, it's obviously it's not ideal, but the guys will adjust. They're young, they're hungry, they just want to compete, and so we're going to treat it that way. We won't make it a big deal that we're going across the country, and like I said, we'll plan on being back here at La Costa the week after. So just a few days in Florida.
Do you feel like, assuming you get to La Costa, you guys have an advantage just being so close to the area and familiar with either the course, but it's certainly the conditions?
Yeah, not so much the course, but just being here in our hometown, and I just want as many people and fans to come out and support us. I think the energy will be amazing being here in San Diego, and we'll just be we'll be comfortable and ready to go.
I asked Justin about this too, but obviously you guys are going up against a lot of big schools. Do you guys ever think about who you're competing against, or is it more just you guys versus the golf course?
Yeah, at this point of the stage, I mean, we know we have a good team, so we're just going to go play the golf course and get our best strategy behind that. We had a great strategy last week up in Oregon. We really dissected that golf course, and the guys are buying in and sticking to the game plan. And when everyone's competing at that level, it really doesn't matter where we're playing.
And then coming off the 4th straight Mountain West Championship, where's the confidence at coming into regionals?
Yeah, it means a lot. We take a lot of pride in that conference championship. We're fortunate to have Coach Fisher talk to us the day before we left, and had a lot of good points for us to think about. And the conference is a big deal to win, and winning this time of the year is important. So that's kind of our expectation.
As coach, how do you make golf a team sport when really it's not?
Yeah, I mean, individually, if you have good players, they go out and play the best rounds and you add them up. But there are decisions made on the golf course. A guy trying to be a hero. We don't talk about individual titles at all. It's all about the team, and so we kind of put that in their head. So if a guy's trying to, hit it through the trees, maybe he'll punch out and try to get up and down as opposed to making that miracle shot. So I think they've all bought into that, and that's how the program's been run.
How have you and your staff stayed so mentally focused over your tenure?
Again, recruiting, it comes down to players. You get good players, and it makes coaching a lot easier. But I think the expectation that we've had here, and we've set the bar pretty high for our standards. And I have a great new assistant coach who's only been with me for 2 years. Great player, though. He's actually playing the Sdsu Mid-Am right now and 2 back of the league going into today. But he's a good player. He's good with the guys on the golf course. He's very even keel and keeps me level-headed as well.
What goes into your recruiting process? Do you favor international or do you favor inside the United States? What's your process?
When I started, we definitely were going international early on because we're not getting the top kid in the country ranking-wise. It's just, there's too many schools ahead of us. But we're getting the kid that we see that has a bigger upside. Somebody that's be committed to San Diego State and that wants to be an Aztec for life. And we get the right kids in here for that reason. And we don't have anybody in the portal. We're not doing NIL. We just get those kids that roll up their sleeves, and we're kind of blue collar and just play hard.
In this day and age, how do you create synergy between transfers, between returning students, and also between incoming freshmen?
Yeah, we just haven't had many transfers, so you kind of go through this program all through 4 years. But if we do have a transfer, a freshman, we just try to have them play with the best players on the team and get acclimated in that setting so they know what to expect and how to improve. And that's what Harry did a really good job this year. He hung out with Justin a lot and picked his brain, and I think that's how he's gotten better.
Yeah, nothing we're not used to. We've traveled across the country all the years I've been here, so you try not to look too much into that. We're comfortable with our game and the game plan we're going to have, so it'll be fun.
And then what's your game at? Obviously, you just came off the Masters a couple of weeks ago, and then winning the individual at the Mountain West. How you feeling with your confidence?
Yeah, it's solid. It's high, but more importantly, it's high in everybody around me. I think that's what's so important about this team aspect is there's a lot of belief flowing through the room right now, and everybody really knows how good each other's game is. And I think when a whole team has that belief, they can be dangerous. And I think that's the mindset we're going to take into the postseason.
And then coming into it with the seeding, do you ever feel like you're going against another team, or is it more so just you guys versus the course?
Yeah, it's easy to look at the other teams and kind of match yourself up and stuff like that. But I think we've learned from in the past that that's not really the way to do this. To really focus on what you have going on in your room and doing what you can do, that's going to be the best way to get us through at the end of the day.
What was your biggest takeaway from your Masters experience?
Tough to pick one. I think the best advice I got was from Patrick Reed in the practice round. He was really big on just playing your game. He had told me a story when he was an amateur and played in a professional event and kind of modified his game plans based off things he saw out there. And he told me that no matter what I saw this week, to stick to what got me here. And I think that really stuck with me. And I've been keeping that in my back pocket since.
Now, did you get invited to stay for the jacket ceremony as the low amateur, but you had to leave? What was the story there?
Not quite. I think the low am was unofficial. You gotta make the cut was what I was told. So that was unofficial.
Still pretty cool to go there. Did you feel like you played well, like your game held up against the top pros?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I hung, especially in the second round. That first round, I really struggled off the tee, and I actually scraped together a round that could have been pretty high. So I was pretty thrilled to give myself a chance in that second round and really found my golf game. Unfortunately, just dug myself too deep of a hole to make the weekend, but no, I definitely felt some good stuff on the Friday.
What was your reaction to what Coach said about you on the interview during the selection show? Captain, what you say goes.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know if it's quite that, but no, I take pride in being a leader on this team. These guys are great. I love them like brothers, and there's not too much to it.
You talked about having to go all the way to Florida, but if you guys get back, obviously, does it feel like almost a home match if you get to come back to La Costa and get to the championships?
Yeah, sure. We're 30 minutes down the road, right? So I would say that's about as home as it gets. I played a tournament there my freshman year. That was my first collegiate win. So I think there's going to be good vibes there. We're all going to be comfortable, and we're gonna bring our best golf.
And then kind of going back to Augusta, you got the Masters champion, DJ. Obviously, were you able to pick his brain at all, or was it pretty quiet throughout the series?
A little bit. You try not to bother a guy too much when you're really grinding on the Thursday and Friday of the Masters. For me as well, right? We're trying to take care of business, so we talked here and there, but I did my best to kind of stay out of his way. Didn't want to bother anybody.
And I kind of want to ask about your career a little bit. You obviously won the Latin American Championship this year, and you completed it 6 times starting when you were 14. What does that kind of say about your character coming back each and every year?
Yeah, I mean, I love that golf tournament. It's been such a huge part of my life. It gave me an opportunity as a young kid that I didn't think I'd ever have, which is to play in the Masters. You know, I don't think there's too many 14-year-olds in the world that get to show up to a tournament and know that if you win, you get to play in the Masters. So I was really hooked from then. And yeah, just to come back and see my progression every year and then kind of end up at the top of the mountain, so to speak, in my last year, it was pretty cool.
What's your experience with team golf? Obviously, golf's not really a team sport, but in a situation like this, like how is it different for you playing as part of a team?
Yeah, it's an interesting balance. You know, we preach think team around here, and there's a fine balance to that, right? Because it's almost like by thinking about yourself individually, you're thinking about the team, because that's you putting your best foot forward. So there's definitely an interesting balance, but I think if you can use the team aspects to kind of gel off each other and have good vibes out there, give guys fist bumps, stuff like that, that's how you really take advantage of the team aspect.
Obviously, it's a little bit different than golf in California. Is that a disadvantage? How do you approach that?
I think it's a good thing for me. I'm from Australia, so grew up playing on Bermuda, grainy grass, hot weather. A little different to San Diego, so I think it'd actually be a nice change of scenery. We don't travel to the East Coast much, so I haven't really got to experience it just yet this year, but I'm very excited to go there. I feel like it's almost an advantage.
Harry, what does it mean to you as a freshman to have such a big role on such a prominent and successful team?
I don't think if I have that big of a role off the golf course. I mean, I'm going to all these golf courses and playing them for the first time and just kind of doing what they tell me to do. I think Justin's a very good leader. He's kind of taken me under his wing a little bit and sort of shown me the ropes and mapped out golf courses, and I think that's been a really big help in my success on the golf course this year. I haven't beaten everyone on the team in one tournament yet, so my nickname around here is Second Low Aztec, but I'm just trying my best each and every week. I don't really have any scar tissue in college golf, so I just go out and try my best, and hopefully the team does well.
You spoke on learning from Justin. What else do you learn from guys like Tyler and like Shay, and also Coach Donovan?
Yeah, I mean, Donovan's very, very much about me trying to stay calm on the golf course. I get frustrated, just as anyone does, but he started walking around with me a lot more this spring and just kept me calm and kept my mental good, which has resulted in a lot better results on the golf course. I had a little bit of a tough fall, but yeah, this spring with Donovan around, and I've played with Justin a couple times in the tournaments, and yeah, it just seems to be working.
Coach Donovan obviously recruits around the globe. What was your journey to end up at San Diego State?
Yeah, I came over for a visit in 2022. I did 5 visits, did a visit in Florida, and just weighed up all the pros and the cons of each one. Went back home, talked to my family, my coach, and I just think the weather in San Diego, the facilities, I knew we were going to be building a facility at the Farms Golf Club. And yeah, it just all kind of led me here. I wanted to go somewhere where the culture was good, and I felt like when I did my visit here, the team was very tight-knit, and I think that's stayed all the way through, so yeah.